Thank you guys all for joining us. We are going to do a quick shorting, and then the rest of cryptos will be for session 190 on Wednesday. Here we go. I'm going to do the shorting tutorial on KuCoin. So let me load up KuCoin. And man, I hope it doesn't show it as sideways for you guys. Okay, here we go. Yes. All right. So pay attention. I'm going to go quickly on, this is using KuCoin. All right. So I've got a chance to hide our balances and things like that. That is, of course, private information. If we're in KuCoin, all right, this is going to be the same for many of you guys who are doing this on your phone. It's very similar. And what you're going to do is you first need to have some money that you can use to short with. And to short in crypto, there's two primary ways to do it. You can buy a 3S coin, which is a coin like Bitcoin 3S. If you go to the area where we're going to click on markets, okay, most exchanges don't allow you to do a 3S coins, but some do. And you go to the search bar up at the top. You're going to go to the top and you type in BTC 3, and one of them is going to say S, okay? And what you're going to do is you can click on that S, and this is primarily the easiest way to short. An S coin allows you to make money when that crypto goes down, but you have to simply buy it, okay? So if we were buying this one, I would say, hey, I think Bitcoin's going to go down to such and such price. I want to click on the one that says buy. That means I own a coin that goes in the opposite direction of Bitcoin. And that's how you would buy. So you click on buy, and then you could click on how much money you want to trade. Now I moved $100 into USDT.D just before it so that I can show you this tutorial. So we might want to click on, this screen is going to pop up. Let me see if I can zoom in. This is, all right, that's the best I can zoom in. I can't really zoom in on this chart. I do apologize. For me, I'm looking at it sideways because it's like flips it around. So let me see if I can do this. All right. What we can do is we can click on the buy order, and then it's going to ask you, do you want to place this trade as a, do I want to place this trade as a limit order, or do I want to trade it as a market order? Now, a market order means you're going to get the worst prices that's available for you. But limit is going to put you in a queue with other buyers and sellers. It's going to show up on this little section up here where it's green up here on the top and where it's red. And basically your orders are going to be at those prices. You can pay a very high price as high as 0.032 or as high as 0.0323 or 0.0320, and those are the orders. And as the market fluctuates up and down, they find balances, and that's how your orders are fulfilled. But another sense you can do is say, I can say, now I have $100 in this crypto, so I want to click on, I want to buy $100, so I'm going to click 100% worth, and it's going to fill. Now mine's just going to say $99.79, and then all I have to do is click buy, and they would ask me for my confirmation, and then I can accumulate that coin. When it's time to get out of Bitcoin, after Bitcoin goes down, you can hit sell. Now I have heard rumors that the S coins sometimes don't go down exactly as far as they're supposed to, or give you the exact profit you're supposed to. So that is one thing to be aware of, that there are some shady things that go on with the S coins to a certain degree. But for the most part, when Bitcoin goes down, they do make money. Okay, and I've had.
Can I ask a question, Jay?
Yes.
When it's a 3S coin, that's 3 times your money, correct?
Correct.
What if it goes down drastically? Does it continue to accumulate?
If it goes down drastically, it'll continue to accumulate unless you set a limit exit order.
Okay.
And so if I was wanting to buy 25% worth, I can click on 25%. If I had a certain amount of money in mind, you can see that right here on this part right here, it says USDT. That means how much in tether dollars do I want to sell? And basically tether dollars is almost equal to $1. I can actually type in right here, it's $24.98, which is basically 25 bucks. I can say I only want a certain amount of money in that crypto. That's fine too. I can just click on it and then type in, I want $10. Now, most likely it's not going to let you buy $10 worth. It's going to say, hey, you have to have a minimum of whatever. But sometimes that's the case. But if you want 25% or 50% or 75% or 100%, you can do that. And those are helpful because if you have a lot of tether and you don't know how much maybe 10% is, you can just click on 25 and then cut that in half and you get close to your 10%, something like that. All right. Now, I'm just showing you, this is where you can change it from market to limit. I do not want to trade at market primarily. I'm okay with waiting a few moments to pay that price. It's going to say the transaction of the market order relies heavily on the market depth. Pay attention to the latest transaction prices and amounts in the order book to ensure that there's significant deviation from your expected average transaction price. Okay, and we can click confirm. Now, what's the order book? This is the order book right here that I just showed you. Okay, those are the prices, the high prices and the low prices. And they're trying to find a balance, and that's how an exchange creates a market. That's a crude example, but that's basically it. Okay, so that's something you want to be aware of. Now, I don't like trading at market. I'll change it back to limit, and then I'll just wait. Sometimes your order's not fulfilled till half an hour. Sometimes it's several hours, depending on how much you're selling or you're buying or accumulating. But usually Bitcoin is very easy, and your orders get fulfilled very quickly. All right, so that is the first way to make money trading a coin down. The problem with that is that not every coin is available in a 3S. If I go back to our spot, okay, let's go back to the beginning. And I'm going to click on the bottom where I click on markets. Okay, in the spot market, which we're at. And I go to the search bar and I type in Shiba, H-A-S-H-I-B. And I type in 3S. There's no 3S, but there is a 2L. And there's probably a 2S. Yes, a 2S. So this would make money if I believe Shiba was going down, which I don't want to short Shiba. I don't even want to short today. I'm just showing you guys that if there's a time in the future where you need to short or you want to short, make sure that there's heavy sicknesses, heavy weaknesses. Otherwise, it's really dangerous to short those areas. I want to make sure there's confirmed selling in the market. I want to make sure there's confirmed weaknesses. I don't want to just trade a top just because it's a top. I don't want to just short a top. The most I'm going to do is exit at tops and get ready to get back in. That's how I'm going to ride those markets. I don't want to just short just because we're at a target, because you're selling in a downtrend, and that's almost a surefire way always to be on the wrong side of history. Because you could be right at that top, but if you're wrong, then price continues going up like it's supposed to. It's bad for you. It's really bad for you because it was supposed to go up and you're like, oh, what am I doing? And you'll feel bad in hindsight. It's better just to make sure that you're shorting in a downtrend. If the market's in a downtrend, especially if we're in sickness, I don't mind shorting at those because they'll give me the highest profitable methods. Just like I showed you right now, USDT.D in a downtrend, but now it's on the underside, hitting the roof of the underside. That means it's going in the basement. It's not even just going downstairs. It's in the basement. And that's why you're going down. If I could short USDT, I would have shorted it, but it's a crypto that we just use as a barometer for what's happening in the world. It's actually the measure of the tether dominance. Okay. Anyway, let's go into the next section, and then I'll take my leave for today. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to now go into futures. So this is going to be a tutorial on how to trade the futures. The primary way that many people short in the markets is the futures market. All right, so pay attention. This may be important. If you ever need to trade futures, you first have to move some money into the futures account. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on our assets, and then we're going to click on transfer. So at the bottom, there's a button near the bottom that lets us go into our assets, and it's going to be the bottom right. Okay, so here, assets, right? That's the one we're looking for. And once we have our assets, then we're going to click this button that says transfer at the top. Okay. Now it's going to allow us to put some money into our futures account. Money into futures account. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use a small portion of that money to actually do our trading. Because if you go in the wrong, in the negative, it's going to be expensive for you. So we're going to do a few things. So we're going to first move the money into the futures. Click on transfer. It's going to say, okay, do you want to trade it from funding to trading? No, we want to move. We're going to click on this little button here in the upper right hand corner to flip that around. Okay, we're going to flip that around. Okay, do that. And now it's going to say we're going to move the money from trading into funding. Okay, you guys see that? Trading into funding. But we're going to trade this funding button and we're going to swap that out with futures. Change to futures. Okay, got it? Everybody got it? All right. So we're going to quick switch that out from funding by clicking on it. It's going to say isolated margin, cross margin. No, we're just going to click futures. Although there's ways you can do it with those other ones, I'm teaching you how to do it with futures. All right, so now it's going to say, okay, how much money do you want? Let's click max. I only moved $100 available. So let's click all $100, $99.93. And we're going to click on confirm by clicking on that max button. So now, what's the difference between 3S and a futures trade, the risk rewards of each? With futures, you can get some very high margin, more than 3x. You can also do less than 3S in the futures. Futures is just a coin that's supposed to go, it's contracted that it's supposed to go up when Bitcoin goes down. But there has been cases when that's not the case. Apart from that, I think futures are the more trustworthy option. It's like something like buying options in the market, but without the timing. So they're both risky. They both have a similar risk type. But apart from that, I'm not sure all the differences between. Futures allows you to trade almost any crypto in the opposite direction. All right, so now we're going to look at this very carefully. When we're in our assets column, this is our assets page. At the very top, one of these options is going to say futures. Also, at the bottom, one of these options is going to say futures. And the one at the bottom, this took me forever to find, by the way. This is the one where you're going to primarily look at. Okay, so at the bottom, we're going to click on futures. Okay. Alrighty. When we click on that futures, make sure you're using a VPN, by the way, if you have. All right, it's going to try to give you an instructions on how to do it. It says choose the contract you wish to trade here. Okay, where the little cat is. Great, got it. Then it says choose if you're going to long or you're going to short. And click there. Okay, we can click next. And then it says enter your order information here. You can choose your leverage, enter the price.
See.
And I know. Enter your leverage, enter your price, a quantity here. Click next. And then here you can confirm buy or long. So we're going to do that. Now, here's what we're going to do. At the top in the right hand corner, I've already changed that. See where it says right here, that 3x? That's where you can change your leverage. And this is where you don't really want to be trading higher than 3x. You got to be careful and look to be that part. There's a time to have a leverage and there's a time where you're just being greedy. But if you're ever wrong, even for just an hour or 2 hours and price spikes against you in the wrong direction, it will over leverage you. And what it's going to do is it's going to take from your full funding, which is going to pull money from your whole futures account. So if I move $1,000 in there and I'm $1,000 in a position, then what's going to happen is I can, if the position goes in the wrong direction and I say, hey, I'm going to sell Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes up, then it's going to actually see that I'm negative. And after a while, there's going to be a time when you're going to be called, I think it's called a margin call, where you're in the negative so much that your exchange will actually close you out of your position and you'll lose all that money because you're not holding on to it. You're basically borrowing the right to sell it. But if you go too far into the negative, it will cut you off and you'll be left with almost nothing or a big loss. And so even if that you were just wrong for half an hour and then price goes really down and it makes a lot of money, the time that you are in the negative is going to be dangerous, and that's where you can lose a lot of money. And that's why leverage positions is dangerous. And futures are a type of leverage position because it's a type of 3S coin. And it goes when you go into the negative or when it spikes against you that little bit, because it's 3X, it's going to spike against you a lot a bit. Okay, it's going to spike against you a lot, 3 times the amount of spike. And therefore, you can lose some money just as fast as you make the money. This is why it's real dangerous. But I'm showing you guys, if you want to do this, is how you can short. Now, a safer way that you can do is just to click on that leverage button and change it to 1x. Okay, you can change it to 1x, and now you're just basically 1 for 1. So it says, what's your future leverage? Future leverage is a magnifier. If you choose 10x, then your profit or loss will be magnified by 10x. This is also an interesting to note that this is where some of the exchanges who are leveraging 10x, some of them are actually not really doing it on the books. We've heard about this recently, and that they're not really leveraging. They're having like astronomical leverage prices, and they're not actually buying the Bitcoin that they say they have. And that's why they're running away to Tahiti and closing these exchanges that people have, and they're not regulated. And there's a lot of that's going to happen in the future, and you're going to see more and more exchanges seem to close up shop overnight, and they're going to run away with people's money. We got to remember that there's a time and a season to do these things, but you have to pray about them. Okay. Whew, I'm teaching the instructions on how to do it. This may come in time, but again, I like to do this only when the market is in my favor, and I want to limit my exposure on those exchanges. All right. Now, here is the next part. You're going to click on next. Okay. It's going to ask you what type of leverage. Leverage magnifies profits. If you go long with 10x leverage and price climbs by 10%, your profit will be 100%. However, leverage brings more risk. If you go long with 10x leverage and the price drops by 10%, you will be gone. Your loss will be 100%. You can lose everything if it just goes only 10% in the wrong direction. Okay, so that's a very big loss. You can lose, if you have $10,000, you can lose $10,000 in a heartbeat if just Bitcoin goes down by 10%. Do you understand that? It's a very big thing. All right, so what's our leverage going to be? We can set it to, now it even gives you up to 120%. That's insane, but I don't think it lets you go any more than 10. Some cryptos allow you to go more, some allow you to go less. We're just going to set it right here at 2x, okay? And see, it says 2. You can either click the little plus button right there and change that number. 5, 10, 6. We're going to click the minus button and bring it down to 1 or 2. All right, and then we're just going to click done, which is the button at the bottom. So I click done, I click confirm, and now my leverage shows here. Make sure your leverage shows so that you did it correctly. All right, 1, 2, or 3. Please be careful, please. Oh gosh, I don't want to tell you guys how to do this. Be careful, guys. All right, now set your leverage. Set leverage. You guys like my, that looks terrible, doesn't it? You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to click the crypto we want. So what options do we have for futures? We're going to click that upper right where it says BTC perp. Okay, we're going to click that again, BTC perp, right at the top here. See, that's what we're going to click. This is the Bitcoin perpetrators. You're like, what is he talking about? Don't ask. I'm just kidding you. They're the ones that committed the crime. You do the crime, you do the time. And then what we're going to do is we can click on a coin that we're searching at. So let's type in SHIB. All right, just say we're now I'm not bearish. I'm bearish on XTC at the moment. I'm bearish XTC. So I can type in XTC, and it says search contract at the bottom. It says XTC, and let's see. Let's click on done, and no result. So no results for XTC. I'm not able to short XTC, but I am able to search. Let's see, favorites. I don't have any favorites. Here's some trending ones that are popular right now: Doge, Myro, Wi-Fi, Shiba, Pepe, Floki, Luna. I don't want to be short any of these, but just say I was a little bearish Bitcoin. We'll do BTC perp. All right. Now this one says Bitcoin's at $72,548. Now here's where it's a little different than the 3S and LS. I'm sorry, the Bitcoin long, which is L coin, or BTC 3S, which is a short coin. So whether it's 3L or 3 long or 2Ls or 2S, those are long or short. But futures is different. If you now believe Bitcoin's going to go up and you want to buy leverage Bitcoin, this is one way to do it. If you believe Bitcoin is going to go down and want to buy leverage and sell it because you believe it's going to go down, that means you have the right to borrow it and collect the money if it goes down. That's shorting. If you believe it's going to go up, you click the buy. Now, if we believe we're going to go down, we're going to change this to sell. See, buy, sell. I'm going to click on sell, and then it's going to ask me, all right, how much do you want to buy? Now here under quantity, it says quantity in BTC. Okay. And I can click on, it says how much available at the bottom. It says how much you have available to spend. I have $99.93 to spend on that. And I can move that little slider up to fill how much money we have. If I move it all the way to the right side and I move that little green slider, I'm going to spend all $100 to short this. If I move it halfway, I'm going to move $50. But with leveraged position, I want to make sure I always have a backup amount of money in my futures account and only trade a small portion. Usually, if I have $100, I want to only keep 10% in the trade. All right, so $10. If I have $1,000, maybe I'll trade with $200 or $300, something like that. I don't like to trade with anything much. I like to have a backup of funding so that price can go against me without completely stopping me out. That's how I like to trade with my futures, okay? If you don't have any backup money in your futures account and price goes against you, then what's going to happen is it's going to be bad for you. In addition, if price is going the wrong direction once you're in a trade and it's going the wrong direction, you're going to be stopped out unless you fund and put more money in that futures account. And you've heard stories, even from people in our community, where they have to keep funding their futures just to keep it from going to the negative. They have to keep moving money into it. In fact, the banks play the similar game. They've done the similar things where AMC, they were shorting AMC heavily. You guys remember this from 2 years ago, the whole AMC scandal. AMC was being targeted to short, and because they saw the banks were taking huge positions. So what did the banks do? Every day that AMC was at a certain price, they were shorting it, and that AMC was high, then the banks had to keep funding. They had to keep putting more money, and they were losing billions of dollars every day. That's a similar situation. If you have a fund in a futures position and it goes negative, it's going to look at your total balance. It's going to say, "Wow, you have $1,000, but your position is $800 position margin. It's almost at $1,000." Then what's going to happen is you get to keep funding it, because if you hit that mark and you cannot go into the negative anymore, it's going to close out your position. You're going to take a loss. So you have to keep having this cushion. So just remember, the biggest takeaway is that if you're trading futures market, trade only a small portion of your total balance, okay? Don't trade everything in your futures account. If you have $1,000, maybe trade only 10%. If you have $100, only trade 10%, something like that. Keep a good cushion, so that if it goes in the negative against you, if the price is going the wrong way, you're still okay, and you have this fund to dip into in case you need to. It's not going to close you out. It's just that if it continued to go in that wrong direction, you're going to lose eventually all of it. Now, that's another thing you can do. You can minimize that risk and prevent yourself from over trading. If you don't want to lose everything in your account, you have $10,000 in your account, you only want to fund your futures, your maximum risk is $1,000, because you only put $1,000 into that future. But your trade needs to be much less than $1,000. So in this case, we have $100 Bitcoin. So therefore, our trade needs to be something like $10. Okay, so I'm going to do this. We're going to move our slider up to, where is this? Here halfway, it's saying $36. Actually, right here, it says $73. Here it says, what is this? $36. Here it says, what is this? 25%. Maybe that's the minimum order. We can't buy anything less than that. Yeah, halfway, $36. Let's do that one. So then I click on sell. So it says $36 here as I move the slider about halfway, $36, and it's going to be approximately 0.0002 Bitcoin. Sell/short is how you start this transaction. Once you click sell short, that's it. Okay, you'll click sell short, and then it's going to ask you, would you want to confirm this? It's going to be one lot. That's the type of amount. It's going to say a leverage of 2%. Okay. And then it's going to say sell short. And it's going to be, that's my available balance. Order value is, it's worth, here's this. Oh, yeah. 72.41. Short 30. Cost, it's costing me $36.68 in USDT. So that's how you would enter a short position. Now, I don't want to be in a short position right now, so I'm going to click the X button and cancel out that. I am not bearish the market at the moment. We're playing this very close, and I can see there's a lot of bullishness still available. In fact, I might actually buy, right, and then do the exact opposite. But I believe that's enough tutorial for today. for shorting. That's how you do the actual buttons. I said it would be short and sweet. All right. If you guys are watching this short, quick tutorial, remember this is never financial investment or trading advice of any kind. Everything is just for entertainment, educational, and comedic purposes only.